I can't tell you any of that. But I'd like to explain why. Because a lot of you have come here and it's understandable and it's an important and interesting story. But my job was to do one thing, which I was profoundly honored to do as an American and as a father. I wanted those young women to be able to come home. And I wanted our two countries to have the ability to decide where to go from here. But anything I say beyond that could inadvertently affect the decisions and moves either here or in North Korea or the attitudes of our allies, and I have no business doing that. I'm not a policymaker anymore. I haven't even had a chance to fully debrief the President, the Secretary of State, the National Security Council. I had a brief conversation with the President, somewhat longer but not extended conversation with Hillary, who's in Africa, and I talked to the Deputy National Security Advisor yesterday, and I should debrief them, and I will. But I simply, it would be wrong for me to say anymore. The young women can speak for themselves about their experiences and their feelings. The pictures were worth a million words yesterday. I'm glad I could be of some help, but I am not a policymaker. I shouldn't be. So I have an obligation to report to my government and otherwise to say nothing that would in any way tip the balance of any kind of decisions that might or might not be made. I just can't do it. They were released on the humanitarian grounds, and I did not, on a substantive matter, as the White House has already said, I can repeat what they've said. The young women had acknowledged that they did go into North Korea briefly and a few steps, and that they shouldn't have done it. And the Secretary of State had previously said that the United States regretted that, and that was enough. I was not asked for any more, nor did I offer any more. What the White House told you on that was factually accurate.
The White House just said in their press briefing that there was no quid pro quo. Do you agree with their, was it a photo op that you saw, Neil, or you could just address that at all?
I am totally committed to letting the White House say whatever they want to say about this. There can only be one president at one time. I was asked to do a job. I did it to the best of my ability. I was honored to do it. But I do not want to say anything that could in any way play any role in the maximum freedom that I want my president and our government and the national security team to have in charting the way forward. It's not helpful and it's not necessary. As far as I'm concerned, they're the sole spokesperson from here on out for all of this. They were deeply emotional, as you heard what they said, and they were delightful on the plane trip home. I mean, they were happy, and they tried to sleep and couldn't. And when we stopped at the American base in Japan, they got their first, real old-fashioned American breakfast, and even a little more. They had little huevos rancheros, and they had to be careful since they'd been on a radically different diet for almost 5 months to measure their intake. But it was basically a lovely thing. You can see they're very nice people. You can see they're very impressive, and Una talked a lot about being reunited with her daughter.